I'm back. The group project is the weightiest thing that you'll be doing this entire class. And so it's fair for me to at least give you an idea of what you're getting yourselves into. This is going to be the rubric that I'll be using to judge everyone on the overall group project. You'll be divided into teams, and those teams will present to me both a set of PowerPoint slides describing the publicly traded company that you've decided to analyze. You'll also give me a 5 to 10 page typewritten paper with as many appendices as you want, but 5 to 10 pages of text. And that will describe in detail maybe some of the following. All these are suggestions. I would suggest that you start off with the background on the publicly traded U.S. company that you're analyzing. Remember, it needs at least 3 years of financial history. So I don't want a startup. I want something that's been around at least 3 years. Give me the background on the company. Show me 1 year of financial projections for the income statement and for the balance sheet. Also, let me know who its 3 main competitors are, and then I would strongly recommend that you do a ratio analysis for key ratios for your company and those same key ratios for its 3 main competitors. I'd like to see 3 years of history of those ratios. As I mentioned in an earlier class, I would like to see the liquidity ratios, the leverage ratios, the turnover ratios, and the profitability ratios. And it probably wouldn't be bad to have market value ratios to boot. So between 4 and 5 of the key ratio categories, 3 years, your company, and its 3 main competitors. I want you to let me know what is going well with the company and what is not going so well. What would you recommend the company do differently? Now, a number of students have been very enterprising, and they've done, some people call it a SWOT analysis, some people call it a WATS analysis, basically strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I would encourage you, if you're so disposed, to do a SWOT analysis on your publicly traded company and let me know what you see as opportunities in the future for your company to thrive. I would conclude with those recommendations, and in essence, as you can see, it's not going to be a really onerous paper. What you'd be graded on, it's going to be 25% weighting for each. 25% by meeting the requirements. Now, there are no requirements, so you're going to do pretty well on this one. The requirements probably mean that you've made a fairly decent effort to incorporate some of the things that you've learned in class into your paper, that there are a year's worth of projections, there are some ratios that have put in. In essence, you've used the stuff that you've learned over the past 8 weeks and you've put it into the paper. Mechanics. I'm going to be putting 25% weighting on the fact that, in essence, you've been logical and you've been accurate. If you've made an assumption that this, and this, assuming are correct, that we can expect such and such to happen. In other words, from point A to point B, you've had a common thread of reasoning, and that in your calculations, you've been accurate. So that'll be 25% of the weighting. 25% is going to be in understanding. Demonstrate to me that you understand what you're saying, that there's not some conceptual flaws here, but in essence, that you're coherent on the material that you're presenting. And then last but not least, 25% is going to be on the written presentation. Don't give me a lot of housekeeping errors. Remember, you're presenting this to senior management at the public company that you're analyzing. You don't want a bunch of spelling or grammatical or housekeeping mistakes on it, so make it look professional. That's it. That's 100% in the nutshell. So if you can basically accomplish those 4 things, then the group project should be graded fairly nicely. Hope that helps. Again, if questions arise, feel free to email me, mlong@lfgsm.edu. And I strongly recommend you don't wait until 2 days before it's due to be working on this. Good luck.